Stones are local. It's all basalt stones. They didn't import beautiful marble from Italy or anything like that. And they used simple tools. They had pulleys in order to bring the rocks to the second floor. And it's interesting, but we know that one of our very famous rabbis was a builder. There are two very famous rabbis who are mentioned many times in the Jewish sources, in the Talmud. One's name was Hillel, and the other name was Shammai. And they always argued. They never ever agreed on anything, but it says that they allowed their daughters and sons to marry one another. That means that no matter what their disagreements were, they still were one community. Now, you know, there's a story that somebody who wasn't Jewish wanted to become a Jew. You let these people through, everybody. Because Rabbi Abun was buried here, and they found his tombstone outside the village. And so, in his honor, he is. This house is named after him, and he was one of what are known as the Amoraim, rabbis who lived after 200 of the Common Era. This is the same time that Christianity was developing. Okay. Are there people outside? They can come in.
No, we're good. I'm good. Okay. I'm good.
And so, this is a typical house of the Galilee and the Golan. You can see made of local stone. The roof would have had logs and would have had twigs and small branches and covered with mud to keep the rain out. Goes back to the 300s, the time that this village was populated. Leolam yehei kol adam beinecha kalistim v'ayu mechabdim k'Rabban Gamliel. What does that mean? Whenever you meet a new person, be suspicious of that person till you get to know them. But treat them as if you would treat the most honorable rabbi. Be suspicious. You don't know the person. Be suspicious, but treat them with great honor. And there's a story. That's what it says. And this is a story of Rabbi Yehoshua, who kept people in his house. He would allow wayfarers to stay in his home. One time a man came, I'm translating from the Hebrew, and he gave him food. Rabbi Yehoshua gave him food and drink, and he led him up into the aliyah. He told him, go sleep in the upper room. Now pay attention. After the man went up into the upper room, Rabbi Yehoshua took away the ladder. He took away the ladder. Right? Now listen to this. And apparently in that particular house there was no exit any other way. So what happened? What did the man do? He got up in the middle of the night and he put on his clothing, and anything of value in this upper room he put into his sack, and he went to climb down the ladder, and what happened? He fell down and broke his shoulder. In the morning, Rabbi Yehoshua came and found him laying on the ground because he had tried to get out of the room. And he said to him, "You nothing of a person." That's what you do when somebody gives you such kindness. And he said, "I didn't know you took the ladder away. Why did you take the ladder away?"
tirou a escada,
And,
você tirou a escada.
and then the rabbi says
Então
to
o
him,
Rabino disse,
don't you know
você não sabe
that we're careful about our visitors?
nossos visitantes.
That we were careful because I suspected you yesterday that you were somebody who came to steal from me. And so I took the ladder away because I knew that you were not the average wayfarer, that you were here for other purposes. And that's why I took it away. And so Rabbi Yoshua had this man on his floor with all of his possessions, Rabbi Yoshua's possessions on him. And apparently, he then sent him on his way with his broken shoulder. It doesn't continue. But remember that the people in this town were poor. They didn't just build a wall for one house. Houses, families shared walls. Right? You can see how the village is constructed. So if you're going to build a wall, build it so that your neighbor also is paying for the wall or is helping you build it, because he has the other side, you have your side. What do you need for a village? The most important thing. Water. Here's the spring, everybody. There's a spring right here. This was where people would come down and get water. Without water, how many days can you live? 3 days without water. So if you don't have water, you die. Now I want everybody to think for a second. This is a very modest village. And I want you to see how important the worship of God was to them. Think of how they are all, they're a picture of everything covered. And all you can see is the top of this, and they move it in here. And this is what they uncovered. Right? After the 6-Day War. And, they started digging right away in 1968. And look here, somebody had carved a menorah, right? You all see that. We saw that yesterday in Daquela. Okay, we also saw it in Jerusalem. And that's another depiction of the menorah, all found here. And so also look, everybody, look at the steps, like the seats I mean. Remember, from the depths I cry out to the Lord.
Uma sinagoga super antiga, aliás, uma ruínas, né? Sinagoga, nos anos mais ou menos 200, então tem 1800 anos essas ruínas. E agora estamos lendo os Salmos, acho que é 82.
Jehovah is near unto all them that call upon him.
Aqui tinha uma vila, casa do Rabino, tinha a casa do Rabino ali as ruínas da vila. Muito lindo. O que eu aprendi aqui foi que aonde tinha um povo judeu que estabelecia uma comunidade, eles tinham o seu tempo de adorar ao Senhor e louvar ao Senhor. A oliveira. Lindo.